losing it all on my own. I had a
Hello, welcome to UKX Gaming. This is UKX Burke, bringing to you a nice game called Dishonored. I like it, played it before, I liked it a lot, so I thought may as well do commentary. This is live, bringing to you straight away, so we're going to play it on easy, as it is quite a hard game. Right, yes, right. We'll be listening to every storyline there is, so here's one coming up after this loading screen. This is live commentary. I know this story bit's gonna come up because I've already played it. I'll let you listen to this, folks. Now, listen, good. It's quite good.
Corvo, if only there was someone else I trusted to send, so that you could remain near. But there is no one else, and the Spy Master was right to insist that I send you. The plague has taken so many, and we must find a cure. When you are near, my heart is at peace. Emily and I will count the days until you return. Hurry home, and bring good news.
Well, there you go. Quite a moving storyline. This was taken in the plague, and this game was made, in the plague. And I am Captain Corvo, and I have just been sent to go and try and find if anyone else has dealt with the plague before, to try and find the cure, but we couldn't. So we're off back to the Queen and everything. 1 minute, sorry.
Maybe we live in strange times.
That's better.
Sending the Empress's bodyguard away for a couple of months.
That's better.
That's unusual.
What? That's a whale. Oh, the cow. Never see that before. That's a whale. Wow, they're pretty big. Well, no surprise he's in Wales, because this is all taken and done in this. When the plague was about, they used whale oil in the story. So, we're rising, and we're dead.
The Empress will be waiting for your news, Corvo. It's been good traveling with you, Corvo.
You know what to do next time?
The pressure was too low.
Yes, the pressure was too low.
Oh, I'm a genius. Right, so now we're gonna have to go meet the
Corvo, you're back.
Dunwall Tower. This is a little Princess Emily.
Please.
Being serious, she is the princess.
Wait. Let's play hide and seek first. I'll cover my eyes and you hide. You have time? Mother's busy talking to that nasty old spy master.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, here we go.
Ow. That hurts. I beat her. Look at that, that's really poor graphics. I wish they actually did make them better.
Let's see if you're still good at this. I'll hide my eyes and count, and at the end of the countdown, I'll try and find you.
Shit, I've got this bush.
Inside.
I think she'd find me.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Aha.
5, 6, 7, 8,
Can't find me behind here.
9, 10. Here I come.
Look. Go away! doing that? Hide.
Let's see about here. See you. Did you really think you could hide there? Let's play one last time, please, Corvo?
No, sorry, Emily. But I have to see your mother.
Alright then. Let's go see Mother.
Ratio. Yeah. This will be a new series for you all. Like, this will be all new. I don't like him, so we'll skip that. He is nasty piece of work. I know she will, mate. That's why I'm coming.
They're sick people, not criminals.
We've gone beyond that question, Your Majesty.
They're my citizens, and we will save them from the plague if we can. All of them.
Very well.
We will not speak of this again.
Mother, Corvo is back.
Thank you, Emily. Leave us, please.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
I will. Every episode will end after one mission is complete, because,
Corvo,
you know, how it rolls.
2 days early. Full of surprises, as usual.
I'm gonna kill you. I don't like you. Screw it. I'll kill him. Maybe.
It's a fair wind that brings you home to me. What news have you brought?
We should leave.
What? Where's the guards gone? What? The flock? What?
News is very bad. We're at the breaking point.
I'm going to commit suicide.
Cowards. They're going to blockade us. They'll wait to see if the plague turns the city into a graveyard.
Are you okay, Mother? You seem sad.
Yes, don't worry, darling. Mother is fine. Wait, where are the guards? Who
They're
sent
there,
them
look.
away?
Mother, look!
Look, they're there.
What are they doing on the
Bit weird on.
rooftop?
What? Disappeared.
Emily, come here.
What? It's what? Ah. Alright, calm down.
Emily, get behind me.
You alright? Waiting for this now. Any more? Ah, I have to use my sword. Probably, yeah.
Corvo, thank you. If you hadn't been here... No more!
Oh,
Not
okay.
again! Mommy! No! Get away from her!
What? No, come on! I'm rapping! No, oh, shit. Ow. Oh. No.
Corvo, it's all coming apart. Find Emily. Protect her. You're the only one who'll know what to do. Won't you? Corvo.
What the hell?
Ward us all. Look at what he's done.
Yes, he's killed the Emperor.
No, I haven't. Look, he's looking around to see if anyone knows.
What did you do with young Lady Emily, traitor?
Her own bodyguard. Ironic.
I'll see you beheaded for this, Corvo. Peg him.
Ow. That must hurt. That's why it's titled Dishonored, everyone. Hey. Yeah, it's... I'm just quiet on these games. I'll just like to let you hear everything that's going on. Save your game often. Autosave does that for me. He looks like a nasty piece of work, doesn't he? Weirdos. Me and UKX Physics will be doing dual commentaries pretty soon. Be a bit of fun. If you think it won't be fun, I don't care. It will be fun. Because me and Physics, funny as hell once we get talking. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Ow!
That's enough for now. Get out.
You fat cunt.
Let's give the man some time to think. Corvo, the Empress is dead. Her daughter Emily is hidden away, and no one will ever know the truth.
Yes, unlucky you. Tomorrow you'll be executed, but it's for a good cause. This country needs strong leadership now, someone to guide the weak. And that's where we come in.
Oh.
There was nothing personal in this, even though you almost sank our plans. But it turned out well. You were in the wrong place at the right time.
Freak.
And someone has to take the
Freak. Leave a comment on a rating of who do you want to kill first. No. Leave a comment in the comment section and a rating of 1 to 10 on how much you want to kill that guy.
You should eat, Corvo.
Not him.
Meal comes from a
The
friend.
one in the red jacket. Heal. Corvo. Here's so. Ah, great. We got a key. Yes. Was in. Where did that bloke go?
Chance you'll share your food with me tonight?
Take some of that money.
So many people are coming to the execution tomorrow.
Huh.
It's on account of Corvo, the one who killed the Empress and abducted her daughter, Emily.
So it's an occasion.
Right. A social event for the high and mighty. Come see the
Yeah, but if I stab him, they'll see.
They're as bad as us betting on the dogfight.
Maybe not.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to work crew, unless accompanied by an officer of the law.
Aha. Stealth is the best
Must
thing.
be scheduled in advance with 1
Go on.
week's notice.
Right. We'll loot these. It's the best thing to do, loot on this game. But it's not the best, using your spells is. Because you just get so much. Oh, gun. Because that's how you earn your money, basically. A bit of climbing involved as well. Health potions. They're what you need the most, is that? No. Well, you need everything. Just don't leave anything behind. Unless you're like full on food and like that. Stuff like that.
Huh? Someone help!
He has a key. For weird use. But you gotta loot the yard key.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only.
Who's down here? No one, so we can run. Ooh, some money. Interrogation room. That's where you saw us get burnt and that prick. Snowy cow. Clockworks, explosive. Let's close that so we don't get suspicious. Nothing else really of use. Oh, was there? Hang on, I'm sure there was money on this desk. Yeah. Corvo, can't bother reading that. If you want to read them, guys,
1 week's notice.
be my guest. You just all you gotta do is pause it. You all know that. You're not stupid.
Slug, did you patrol the yard?
Sorry, not yet. I was gonna report that boiler leak from yesterday.
Right. So what we'll do here
Get it. Just do your rounds.
is.
Report's trouble for both of us.
I'm moving.
Oh shit. Right. What? Are you kidding me? Right, we'll have to wait until he, yeah, like that. But then he's got to turn round.
Huh?
Jesse, help him! Hit him!
Loots, don't forget the yard key. Look folks, that's all you gotta do, but you gotta be more stealth. This game's quite a nice game. For fuck's sake.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only.
Why the pouches just only dropped? You gotta loot these bad boys, get a load of money sometimes. That's 50 coins though. Just search about a bit. Look at that. Look, just simply got another health potion, bullets, bit of food. You know, all the usual gear you'd get. Right. Take some of that money. Open that. Close that. Someone, look. We got suspicion. Where is he? I've got to kill this guy. Aha! Ready? Didn't see that, did they? Yeah. Right guys, this will probably come to the end of this mission. Getting out of Dunwall prison, or whatever. When we get back we'll be travelling through this door. Dunwall Water District. Main drain. Right, this is it for this episode guys. I hope you like it. Leave it a like, you know, as you do, because you're all epic. You know, share this, get the channel more known for us if you can, people. Be loved and thanked every moment. We'll do a special video for all people who do try and, like, you know, just post it on your Facebook or something. Right, we'll go through this door next episode. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.